Hello everybody, Wednesday morning, and we are lingering on the story or the events of Easter Sunday. This is not just a case of, well, Easter's behind us, let's see what's next and we move on. No, let's consider that wonderful and incredible story. Now, there's been something that has struck me this year about that Easter story, and many things. It is how disappointing was the performance, if that's the right word. It's probably not the right word, but how disappointing were the disciples on the whole, the trusted friends of Jesus, whose behavior before Christ's crucifixion was hugely disappointing. And even after Christ had risen from the dead, their reaction is really quite muted. And when you contrast the men in the story of Easter with the women, there are no prizes for guessing who comes out better. You know, the disciples of Jesus had expressed loyalty, all others leave you and abandon you. We'll be there for you. Peter, you remember what he said? You remember that Judas betrayed him, Jesus? Peter denied him. They all ran away when Jesus needed them. He asked them to be there for him when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane praying. And they fled. They fled. And slowly but surely, they all just fell away. And you think, really? And who's standing around the cross when Jesus is dying? Now, okay, we read John may have been there, but it's the women who are there. Who is it that anointed Jesus' head just with that expensive nard of perfume? It's a woman. Who's there first on Resurrection Sunday? It's a woman. And she's with other women as well. And when the disciples come to see for themselves, they see, but their reaction is quite muted. And they return as if nothing had happened. And the women get on with it. The women are the sharers of the good news. They proclaim this incredible message that Christ is risen. And it's only at the end of day one, when the disciples, who know that something has happened, the disciples are in the upper room, behind lock and key, probably petrified out of their minds. It's only then that Jesus appears to them. I don't see much joy in the disciples. Maybe they're just skeptical. They didn't want to believe these things. But it's the women. It's the women. Women have an intuition about spiritual things that we men don't seem to have to the same extent. It seems that us guys are tone deaf to the things of God. And maybe this Easter, as we allow the message of Jesus risen, as we himself meet him, God can begin to address us, and that we will allow him the space to speak to us instead of being so obsessively preoccupied with other things. Today I salute the women of the resurrection, and I challenge us men to be more spontaneous, be more open in our reaction, in our response, in our responding to the invitation of Jesus to be his disciples. A thought for the day. God be with you.